Raw Sports Radio. Raw Sports Radio, man. Welcome back, man. Appreciate you tuning in and check out the channel. You know today's topic. It's on the screen, man. It's the uncomfortable conversation that must be had on these YouTube streets, and we ain't afraid to talk about it. I got Angelo in the building, man, from Whatever the Fuck I Want podcast. I got Max. Max, tell them the podcast you're from.
That's the facts. Russian Jew Max Sports Life and more.
That's right. There you go. And I got my boy Castro on here with us, man. And we here to talk about the main topic, man. Are European players the reason for bad defense across the league? Is that a ridiculous statement by Gilbert Arenas, or is there some merit to that topic? But before we jump into that, I want to go ahead and play the clip so everybody get a thorough understanding of Gilbert, the context of things and where he was going with it. Breathe, Max, breathe. I'm messing with you, man. Let's go. All right, so
expand it.
If you're gonna start drafting kids, older, but yes, Gilbert.
I know what they can do. Get rid of all the Europeans.
Say anything.
What?
You just said it. You just said it. You go to college to learn defense.
Yeah.
What college do Europeans go to?
I'm with you. No, I just say get rid of them.
They don't go to college whatsoever. They have no athleticism. They have no athleticism.
They all come over.
Hold on. They have no athleticism, right? They have no speed, no jumping ability. They are a liability on defense. There's 150 Euros in the league today. Name the top 10 defenders.
No,
none. Right? Just the Rudy Gobert and Greek the Freak. Other than that, they're just offensive players. They're not defensive players, right? So the NBA took away aggression. They took away aggression to open up the Euro League. When they first started getting here, it was too rough for them.
And they didn't make it.
They didn't make it, right? So eventually, they softened the rules. They didn't soften the rules for the Americans. They softened the rules to open it up international. So when they're saying the Euros is going to run the league in the next 5 years, why do you think that? More threes, passing, cutting. This is not our league. This is not the American style. This is the Euro style. So, drive in, suck the defense in, pass the ball to the three-point line. It's the three-point shooting league because they're copying Euro style. Suns, right? What was the biggest thing the Suns didn't do? Defense. Ole, let's go. Boom, let's go. Right?
7 seconds. 7 seconds.
Now, everybody, we don't want to foul so we can go try to score. That was the whole thing of D'Antoni. Right? That is what the league was created off of, to have more of those guys in so they can expand the business.
Make it a global game.
Global game.
You remember pushing global game. How they gonna have a global game if it's too physical and too athletic for them? So they have to figure out ways where they can exist inside of the game.
Wow.
Right? Create more opportunities, bring in more shooters so they can survive. So these guys can become shooters.
He cooking.
No, that makes sense because
they're not ISO players. Like, who was the best Euro that has handled?
No, I swear it makes sense because when he was just
pause right there, man. I'm gonna back it up just a couple. Let's see. Let's back it up to what Kenyon's point was. Kenyon was making a point that the reason why it was a gradual. He gradually made a point, but he was saying the reason why the league is so bad, which Gilbert hijacked his point. He was saying that because college players aren't staying in college that long. They only staying one year in college, and in college that's where you learn your defense. So he said 1 year is not enough, man. He needs these guys to stay in there 3 and 4 years so they can learn defense, and they're not doing that. And it gets even worse when you go across seas and you're getting talent from across seas when they don't even go to college, just straight to the league. So That's
it's going to be a continuous cycle. So the NBA, this is the thing that y'all wanted. This is the product now, and this is where the game is.
Yep. Good luck.
Right?
Yeah.
Great as far as what the NBA.
Here we go. Let's got you.
You have certain guys that you know that he can stand in front of that ball. He can do this or he block like that's. Some of it is pride, some of it is coaching, some of it is instinct, some of it is all of it is tied into one. But the game is great as far as what the NBA wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the product, right? So now you have people griping about the product that you put all this attention into.
Yep. Facts.
But like people say, now the cat's out the bag. And, right?
Went too far.
Now trying to get it back in is like good luck.
Good luck.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what we are with it. Good luck. Because you are going to draft more European guys. You keep drafting them younger. Everybody is coming up with a school or university that kids don't have to go to college now. They 1 year removed, so now they can go to the league.
Yep.
Right? People creating these things now to circumvent the college thing, so kids don't have to go to college. Creating whatever. And they're not teaching it there neither. So it's like, it's going to be a continuous cycle. So the NBA, this is the thing that y'all wanted. This is the product now. And this is where the game is. Unless you're going to start drafting more college kids and not penalizing them for going to school for 3.
Yeah, man, that's pretty much that's the gist of the interview right there, man. Hey Max, man, I want to start off with you, man. You guess. I want to start off and see what you think about that.
Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you very much, everybody. I watched the interview in its entirety after we'd spoken, and it was actually a really great interview until Gilbert opened his mouth. And then it became something to go ahead, get clicks, and sensationalize, because what he said was so nonsensical that he actually got upset about his own comments enough to interrupt others and not allow them. In fact, he talked over them and badmouth, if you want to call it badmouth, the lack of talent, the lack of. I believe he went as far as say that they don't even have school. Like you don't think there's school in Europe? They don't have an education system? What do you think they do? They just come out, they learn a little bit here, a little bit there, and then boom, they just send them off? No.
Nah, he didn't say that. He didn't say school. He said college. He was just saying, college where you learn defense from.
Right. And at the same time, they teach the different fundamentals than they do in, let's say, AAU, or what they do if you stay the course in school. And then at that point, you're either making a decision to sell yourself short on an education to go ahead and have the opportunity to make some bank, or you go ahead and take that shot, make sure that if things don't work out for you as a professional athlete, that you always have your education to fall back on. That's a tough choice for anybody to make, especially a young adolescent that doesn't know exactly what he's got planned out, no matter how talented he may be or how talented other people have told him he may be. Now, as far as European players and how they were catered to in his analogy to being soft and how they couldn't make it, I couldn't recall one time that I ever heard Detlef Schrempf, Rick Smits complain about the game being too difficult for them. They played as hard as anybody else that I've ever watched play. And whether or not you guys agree with that, that's okay. But I saw with my own eyes, and I can tell you, these guys, they played defense, they played offense, they played a complete team game, and it is a complete team game. Now, if you look at defense on an individual level, one-on-one, matchup-wise, you don't see it like you used to. You don't see the glove matched up with MJ and locking him down, even for a little bit. It just doesn't happen like it used to. You have marquee matchups, but you don't have those one-on-one individual matchups like you used to. Now, if you want to compare apples to apples and we start digging in on defense in general, then defense is just not being played, or there are certain shots that are being taken that you can't defend. If a guy takes a shot 10 feet from back behind the 3-point line and makes it, how do you defend that? You can't. He makes that shot. Whether it's luck, whether it's whatever. The shot was made. There's not a whole lot you can do to defend it. Period.
Right. All right, man. We're gonna play a little give and go, man. Angelo, what do you say to Gilbert's comments?
Before mutual mic day. Before today, I kind of thought that the NBA was protecting their brand. I was thinking like, okay, they started officiating it differently and things like that because maybe they didn't want to get guys hurt, and that affects putting asses in the seats. But when I heard the 150 players, Euro players in the NBA, and just noticing off glancing that most of them don't make sense. I thought it was some validity to what Gilbert was saying. Now, was it 100% fact? I would absolutely say no, but it's some validity. And to Max, the two examples that you gave, Detlef Schrempf and Rick Schmitz, they played ball here. They went to college here, so they kind of played a little bit more American way, and they had adjusted, right? But I do get what you're saying though, Max. I do get what you're saying because some of that what Gil said may have been a little bit capped, but you know what I'm saying, it was a little bit of truth sprinkled in there as well, in my opinion.
All right, well that's that. Hey, Castro, man, I gotta hear what you said about this topic, Castro. Castro
muted.
He muted. Castro, I want to hear what you got to say about Gil's comment. Getting rid of the European players, man, in the NBA. That's the problem for bad defense. He's blaming.
Yeah, hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
He's saying that's mainly the reason because it's 150 Euros in the league, so that's the reason why defense, it's not really played on the level it should be. What do you say to that?
I'm gonna say I won't blame it on the European players. I'm gonna blame it on the league because when they was playing defense, the NBA fans didn't like to see a bunch of defense. They wanted to see a bunch of points. So that's why they brought all these rules in, no hand checking. The 3-point line came a little closer. So my defense to that is the fact that it's the NBA. They want to have more showtime and more points and more fun. Now it's getting a little ridiculous to where there's no defense, and now they saying, well, we scoring too many points. Well, you can't have it both ways. Either you gonna call what you gonna call or not. So my thing is, it's a lot of stuff that they doing that's not right, but it's the NBA fault. That's my opinion about that. I mean, y'all guys agree to that, to where that they just want just a bunch of offense, just a bunch of scoring?
I agree to that because it's kind of what sells. You know what I'm saying? That's what sells. Those 150 point games. You know what I'm saying? That's that in their eyes, that's drawing attention. And they believe that those 80, 86, 87 point games that we used to get, it was kind of boring now, is what how they feel. I enjoy both, man. To be honest, I still love the game either way. You know, I'm just a fan of the sport like that way. But like my son and the younger generations, they want to see the run and gun. They want to see the run and gun, and the NBA they're not about to cater to our generation anymore. They're not about to cater to our generation. They're gonna keep the train rolling, and you know those are the people that are going to get what they want. The younger generation, and that's why Steph Curry shoot from half court. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when you see kids in the gym and they shoot from half court, you know.
Yeah, I want to give, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say something about this because you know, hold on one second, but trying to switch. But yeah, man, I say, man, I understand what Gilbert is saying, and you know, because he got a great point, but it's not the only point. It's not the only reason. What Gilbert is saying, you know, he's like, you know how the style of play that they play over there and overseas. Offense is prioritized, and you know, but you know, he said, you know, these guys, most of the guys, they got a reputation of this. So people can get in their feelings, but the man, you can't dispute what he's saying. You can't really name anybody from overseas that play defense, and you can't. You can say, oh, that was, you know, because I hear people in the comments say that was racist, but you know, I'm gonna let Max respond because I know, you know, he gonna have somebody for me. You know, I'm already, you know, we ain't never gonna agree on everything, but like I said, you're not, you know, how many people from the Euro system can you name? I mean, you're gonna say Rudy Gobert, or you're gonna say, you know, Giannis or whatever. Giannis really came from damn Nigeria. Come on, man. Like, you know, these, like, the guys who do play defense, they from Africa. You know, and that's their descent. But they don't. He's saying the same thing everybody else said in America. And the reason why Larry Bird is insulted, he said, "Don't ever put a white boy on me," because he know that ain't the best defender. I want to beat the best. And these guys, they don't want no competition. And like even Lucas said, it's easy to score in this league. Even Giannis said it's easy to score in this league. Lucas said they could improve the game by getting rid of the 3-second defensive rule that they implemented in 2001. And you know what I'm saying? He said the court over there is more narrow, which we all know. The court is a lot more narrow. And like we all can agree, they can get rid of the baby calls. And another big one, the obvious one to the eye is, I don't know about the new generation, but the traveling, the carrying, taking 3 or 4 steps to the basket. I mean, that right there alone would throw a shot blocker timing off. And if he's anticipating you to take 2 steps and you're taking another 3rd step, then he mistimed his jump. Or if they already got you covered and they got you measured, and they pretty much got you almost double teamed and got you trapped, and you're able to take another step to get out of the trap and pass around somebody to get an assist for. That's what we're doing this for. So I ain't with this style of play, but Gilbert just got 1 point. But don't sit here and tell me like, man, the Europeans ain't cooking, bro. They cooking. They better skilled than our players on the offensive end. But they create a problem on the defense end. So you get something good. I mean, that's just yin and yang effect. You know, you know, but as good as it's gonna be bad at. So you got a great offensive player. You know, I mean, you got a great, you know, player when you talk about the Euro players on the offensive end. They've been playing pro since they was young, and you know, they know how to play the half court game. Our players like to run up and down the damn court and fucking AAU. And we ain't been taught no defensive philosophies and none of that stuff. We only on campus for like probably 7 months, if that. And then it's all to the NBA. But Angelo, I know you got something to say. Go ahead, man.
I was just wanted to kind of rebuttal a point that you made. I don't think that the Euro players are necessarily like more skilled. I think they probably more fundamentally sound. Like they practice fundamentals more. I wouldn't go as far as saying that they're more skilled though. I just wanted to rebuttal that.
And fundamentals like what? Because not a whole lot of have
basic the fundamentals. Basic.
Though. They're good passing.
No. What I mean by fundamentals, I mean pick and roll.
Of course.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah. That's where they excel.
Man, before Max think of this, because I want to beat Max to the punch. Andre Karolinko was a man. You know, Angelo.
And Serge Ibaka was a great defender too.
Man, he from Africa.
What he play? Hey, he played a lot. He played years in the Euro League, bro.
Man, they brought him over there so they can win games in Euro.
But he played in the Euro League. He played for Spain.
You know,
if I'm not mistaken, he played for Spain. He played professionally in Spain.
Yeah, that's Spain gave him an opportunity, let him make some money or whatever. Everybody trying to die to get to Spain from Africa. You know how it goes.
But it's been a couple European defenders, man. They just don't. I say a couple. I said a couple.
Well, I know Max got something for him. Man, he got something for us. Well, I know he do. He over there rubbing his hands, waiting. But yeah, Max, what you got? You muted. Unmute yourself. Hold on. Let me. Oh, one more time. Unmute yourself.
Oh man, that's funny, guys. I'll tell you what.
Larry Bird said
it was. I could tell you, besides AK-47, Andre Karolinko, great player. You know, say what you want to say about him. He played defense. He played offense. Was he a superstar? Not necessarily. Is he going to be a Hall of Famer? No. Any chips? Negative. But he played hard, and he was European. He's Russian, actually. And, you know, he had a nice career, lasted for, I believe, almost 15 seasons, roughly. Ended with the Nets. And in retrospect, if we go back, even before Karolinko, we have Drazen Petrovic, which you could quote Michael Jordan as saying that Drazen Petrovic was one of the most, if not the most competitive, not only offensively, but defensively. Drazen would give Jordan absolute headaches every time they would play, consistently. Arvydas Sabonis, twice won for the Soviets, gold medals in the Olympics, between not having to play the United States because tit for tat boycotts were the norm back then between
that's overseas.
Between the two superpowers. And Arvydas Sabonis, you're talking about 2 gold medals, okay? EuroLeague, multi-EuroLeague championships. Came over to the NBA when he was an old, wore-out man and was still able to be dominant in his role. This is a fact. You could look this up.
Oh, we know. We agree.
So to say that,
but that was overseas, though. He was saying the NBA.
And when he came over to the NBA, he was by no means was he a Shaq or was he anywhere near what he was in the Olympics, but he was still very relevant in playing.
Yeah, he couldn't guard.
Example,
and Max, I think you might have misunderstood that he was saying as far as defense. The players you named were great talents offensively. He was saying that the Euro product is one-way players. You know, in American basketball, like we mentioned earlier, Danny Ainge and those guys, that's a two-way player. Danny Ainge is a two-way guy. Larry Bird, contrary to people's belief, even though he didn't play on-ball defense, he was a hell of a defensive rebounder. He played team. That's a two-way player. But you know, Larry about the only one. You know, you could say a lot. Larry wasn't that good on defense because you know if it's one-on-one, of course. But in American game, man, the best players are the two-way players. That's when basketball is at its highest competitive level.
Absolutely. Look at Jordan.
And we've seen a no-name Kawhi Leonard become what he became based on playing on both ends of the court. stole the Finals MVP from LeBron in 2014 with the Heat. And then came back hurt with ended up getting hurt because he had the Warriors super team up. He had them up, like 20-some points in the first game, and then they deliberately went out to injure this man. And they were successful in doing that. So he had to wait a couple years, came back hurt, beat the Toronto Raptors. Joined the Toronto Raptors and ran through the playoffs. Locked Giannis down en route and ended up dethroning the super team. Dismantling the super team of the Golden State Warriors. So the two-way players are still the best in my eyes, unless you want to cater towards the offensive player, and Tim Donahue spoke on that, but that's how the referees officiate the game. But
in that series, if you remember, Game 6 and Game 7 being the controversial ones, why did we have a Game 7? Because the NBA felt it necessary to take that series to a Game 7. It was 3-2, and the Kings were up. Also, ironically, they had 3 European players on that team. They had Vlade Divac, Ivo Pergolou, and Peja Stojakovic.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Golden State. Okay, yeah. You're talking about the Sacramento Kings with the Lakers. They got robbed back years, in my opinion.
Yep, the debauchery.
That's another topic. But we're gonna have that discussion.
They had the European guys on that team, 3 of them. And if
Stojakovic,
Pergolou, and Vlade Divac.
Yeah, that team was definitely every last piece, every last starter. The team wouldn't have been what it was without Stojakovic and Bibby.
Yeah.
Weber too.
Agreed.
Yeah, Weber.
And here's the thing that really kind of was, nothing Gilbert said was upsetting to anybody. I don't think he hurt anybody's feelings by any means. I think it's sensationalism.
Yes, he did.
Did he? Did he?
The internet on fire about that, man.
Man, internet needs to chill out. They need to realize that number one, Gilbert was never a top 10 defender in the first place. And he was a 3-time All-NBA, and he was 3-time All-Star, from what I recall. He had plenty of issues, plenty of problems. We can badmouth Gilbert for hours if we wanted, but we're not going to do that. There's no reason for it. He's already done his thing. We know about Gilbert. Wears dresses. It's okay. I don't judge. But it's one thing to say that the white players are ruining the game, essentially, and then be coy about it and try to make up excuses how to push your narrative in order for other people to buy into it. If we get rid of the whites, the NBA is going to be a better league. It's going to be more fun to watch. Scoring's going to be better again. Get rid of these Europeans. What?
Yeah, he even said in that statement, he even said the shooting to be down, and then people disagree with him about that.
Could you imagine if it was reversed? And let's say J.J. Redick, all right? Let's say J.J. Redick said, you know what? We're going to have to get rid of all these black guys. They got to go.
Yeah.
And ship them back overseas.
Yeah.
Then the internet would be on fire. They'd be right. Fire. Every Target would have security in front of it right now.
Oh, man.
I think Gil
people would lose their mind.
Gil should have did a better job of clarifying, because I don't think he necessarily meant white players. I think he meant players that come
European
from the Euro League.
In particular.
Nah, he made it clear, Angelo. He said, except for Giannis and
Rudy Gobert.
He made it clear.
Yeah, he didn't say Jokic once. Not once did he say Jokic. Not once did he say Luka. He didn't say.
But Giannis,
he said Rudy Gobert.
He said that Luka. He said Luka is not. He said that Luka is an exception. He said.
He said Giannis and Gobert because they're great defenders.
Right.
They are.
That's what he said.
But that's not to say that Wemby's not a great defender. Granted, he's young, but I think blocks account for defense.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
think
one
they.
of the best. Top.
I don't think Wemby. He even referring to Wemby. Wemby got 2 weeks in.
Right.
He got 2 weeks in. It's the Lucas of the world that he really talking
Yeah,
about.
because you're saying it's not really fully satisfying when you got to watch a guy who's a star on one end, watch him dominate on one end, but he does nothing on the other end. Like, bro, it's a half game. Basketball fans want to see defense, man. Real, true, pure basketball fans, we want to see you stop somebody.
Man, it's been plenty of people that we champion that were horrible defenders. Like
Allen Iverson,
yeah,
steals.
Yeah, Allen Iverson he was horrid. He got steals from cherry picking, but he couldn't guard me.
That's defense.
That I don't consider that
turnover.
I no, not
He's
the way he did it.
He's a bad on-ball defender.
No, the way he did it, he did it by using athleticism and cheating by being halfway down the court. He was halfway down the court.
You can't get no steals being halfway down the court, man.
We have a different opinion than that. Well, I don't wholeheartedly incorporate steals and blocks with defense because a lot of that is athleticism.
That's effort.
Effort and athleticism, but you're not
just athleticism. You got to have time and you got to have defensive IQ to be able to pull that out.
Yeah, like we talk about on
that's the case. You have guys like Jay Richardson, Jason Richardson, or any athletic guy, man. It would automatically be a shot block, and that's not the case. It's a skill.
LeBron and Dwayne Wade can't guard nobody, but they get blocks and
LeBron
steals
early on in his career.
They get blocks and steals, and they got put on all defensive teams, but they get cooked on a regular basis.
Same way with Michael Jordan. He played off-ball defense,
but Michael Jordan stopped his man sometime. I ain't never seen
Michael Jordan never played nobody that was
we give LeBron credit for stopping Derrick Rose. You know what I'm saying?
Derrick Jordan never really played no all-star. He played the weakest man on defense, the weakest offensive player, so he could roam around.
That's not true, bro. He played with Scottie Pippen, and Scottie Pippen took the best player because Scottie Pippen was a better defender. But Mike also,
I don't think Scottie Pippen was necessarily a better defender. He was a better probably a matchup because of his length with guys like Magic and all of that one-on-one. But Michael Jordan was the brains of that defense, and he gave Scottie, he assigned Scottie that, hey, Scottie, make ice on, push up to the middle or whatever, and I'm gonna come. From the weak side. I don't watch the training camp, and I watch the film.
I gotta cut Dave. I gotta cut you off.
Michael Jordan
said. Dave, I gotta cut you off because Castro not here for this, and you know what I'm saying. We gotta say this for Castro.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but you criticizing these the other guys, the defenders for playing off-ball defense, but you're not criticizing Jordan. Come on
now. I'm not trying to spare Michael Jordan, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving him what credit is due, man. Michael Jordan was an elite defender, bro. He was elite. He wasn't Scott.
He was a great off-ball defender. I mean, he was a pass. He wouldn't let you get the ball. But a lot of like you said, Michael Jordan's success from getting blocks was off-ball. He was getting blocks on centers. He was leaving his man to go double, trap. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys.
Most athletic guards get their steals and blocks like that. But you mean to tell me he didn't? So who was his? Who would you say he had to lock down? We can't say Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller came off.
He wasn't locking down no Reggie Miller. He wasn't
I didn't say that. You hear me? I said I led with he wasn't locking Reggie Miller down because he was coming around screens.
And he wasn't locking no Joe Dumars down.
Man, Joe Dumars is a glorified role player, man. I don't even want to hear that.
That's wild. See what I'm saying, man?
I don't even want to hear that, bro.
A lot of the moves Jordan do.
Joe Dumars, the MVP of the 1989 NBA Finals. Joe Dumars.
Yeah, Joe. That one right there.
Wow. Okay, I was making sure I heard everybody.
That one right there. That one right there.
And you think Dumars is over glorified? Honestly,
man,
two-way player, man.
Joe Dumars.
Pardon me, because sometimes my hatred for anything that has anything to do with the city of Detroit spews out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Max, I'm from Chicago, so I hate Detroit. I hate Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing nobody can say or do about it.
You know, all I can tell you is this: if you got hate in your heart, you got to let it out. We got to make that hate into something positive. Turn that hate into a winning season for Chicago, for God's sakes. I lived in Skokie for a few years after we'd immigrated from the Soviet Union, so much love to Chi-Town. I still got family in Deerfield.
Yeah,
man. But Iverson, man, he came up with this turn up with the steals, man. You can't say you wouldn't take those steals that Iverson was coming up with.
Of course I would.
3 steals a game. Come on, man.
Dwayne
Wade, all those blocks Dwayne Wade was getting, you thinking he was just getting on-ball blocks? He was getting off-ball blocks too. But you said Wade can't guard nobody.
I don't think he can now.
Who has to guard somebody? The offensive player got an advantage. He know when he's gonna take off and when he even Jordan said that. But Jordan had all the strategy. But like I said, I mean, your guy Kobe Bryant, you claim that he locked down people. He don't lock down nobody.
He did.
No, he got effort. And that's what defense is, effort. Kobe was willing to take on the hardest, the toughest challenge. Can you imagine Kobe playing right now against the top scorer in the league, like Luka? He'll challenge Luka. He'll try to go and score on Luka and then go and play him on defense. But will Luka go down there and play Kobe on defense?
Luka would not play Kobe on defense.
That's what I'm saying. And that's where the competitive drive that fans are used to seeing is gone. It's just fading away, man. They want to see that kind of product competitive against each other.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, guys?
Sure.
Do you think if they brought back the hand check, back that 3 in the key, that would alone solve the issues without having to involve an entire third of the league being deported back to Europe?
Right. Hey, I want to let y'all know, man. Y'all might not know this, but Luka Doncic can actually play ball, on-ball defense. Even though he chooses not to do it, he really can play. Y'all might not know that.
We haven't seen it yet.
I know because the way the league is a gimmick, man. It's just all about offensive numbers.
I think before they like what Max said. What Max said about bringing back hand checking. I think the most they could, let's say they leave hand checking out the game. I think if they just got rid of the Euro step and blow that whistle on them traveling, that would be enough right there. That would be enough change
right there, man.
That would be enough change right there.
I think you're onto something. Let me ask you this. Let's take it one step farther. James Harden taking a 3, takes a step back. Is that going to be called a travel now too then?
That's traveling.
That's travel. Okay. I agree 100%. Because you're already dribbling, you're taking your 2 steps, and then you're taking that extra step back, take a 3. Hey, man, you should have taken that shot before you took that travel.
Yep.
Yeah,
man.
Which goes back to the point that young man made earlier about how it's the league that's making more mistakes than anything else, and you're trying to scapegoat European players for the lack of defense in the league when European players, if we average it out between the 30 teams at 15 per team, not counting the 3 two-way players at 18 per team at that point, but if we count it down and break it down, that'll be on average €5 per team at 30 teams, which is going to be that 150 where Europe came up with. So basically what it comes down to is a third of the roster on each team essentially is European. If we look at it like that, based on the number of players in the NBA, 30 teams, 15-man roster, not counting the 3 two-ways, and we have 450 guys. Subtract 150, we have 300 players left at that point, which are not European players, which are American players. So we have 300 American players still left, which would be double the European players. So at that point, why and how is it the fault of the European players, and how are they being catered to that is the scapegoat and or excuse for the scoring or lack thereof defense currently in the NBA?
Yeah,
And to say that it's because we need to get rid of the European players is asinine, and just simply, to me at least, I could say it out loud 1,000 times and it won't make any more sense now than it did the first time I said it.
yeah, he was saying the style of play, the Colangelo, ushering in that style, that Euro style. That's the direction they want to go, and that they bringing Euro ball to the U.S. And what you're saying is no defense when you playing Euro style like that. With a wide open court, the court is so wide, and then you got the defensive 3 second, which they don't have over there in Euro. It's like you're trying to copy the Euro League, but you're not applying the same rules that the Euro have. So maybe if we're gonna go Euro, let's go all the way Euro. But Angela, I wanted to show you that the Euro stuff ain't so bad, man. It's just the guys who's performing it. They're traveling. Let me show it to you right quick.
Comes Dennis Johnson. DJ and Danny Ainge, the backcourt with McHale, Bird, and Parrish. Bird has it swiped by Dominique. Dominique against McHale. Dominique on the drive in the lane. The layup is good, and they're going to call a walking violation and take the basket away from Dominique.
I wish we had that on the replay. Here it is.
One, two.
It looked like a walk to me. Here it is.
One.
It looked like a walk to me.
Hey, Dave, that's traveling to me.
How is that traveling?
That's traveling to me, man. From the way I'm older. The way I learned how to play basketball, you can't be moving without bouncing the ball. You know what I'm saying? You can't be taking steps without bouncing the ball.
Max, what you say to that?
I think that if we were to take that exact same play and have it happen in this era, then it would not get called. It would go on.
Would you call that what Dominique just did? Even the announcer said it wasn't a travel.
I wouldn't call it travel, but that's,
I mean, he only took, how many steps did he take that you saw?
He took the exact amount of steps that they do at the Euro League move level.
No, I'm talking about the video when he picked the ball up. How many steps did he take?
Two.
He took 2 steps, and that's what you're entitled to 2 steps.
You can't take.
You can't tell somebody how to take their steps.
You can't take 2 steps after picking up the ball.
Yes, you can.
You can't dribble, stop dribbling,
that's your last dribble,
and have steps in between.
Say what now?
I said dribble, stop dribble, then start dribbling again with steps in between. No, but for what he did,
no, that's not the case.
No, that's not the case on the clip we just saw. No,
his last dribble on his last leg. He dribbled after he landed his left step. He dribbled, he took 1, 2, and went up. You're entitled to take 2 steps, man. And he didn't even take a gather step, like what they calling it today.
I would like to see that be called a travel.
That's good. That's wow.
I would like that to be called travels. They're not gonna call it, but I would like that to be called travel.
Man, I don't know what to say to that. So all right, well, hey, that's how you feel about it.
Yeah, I mean that would eliminate a lot of BS, bro. I would like to see that called travel. And that was and that move was called traveled every time. That what you showing Dominique doing. If anybody would have did that move at that time, it would have been called travels.
Hold on. At what time? At what time?
In the 80s, that's Dominique
You said
did that
Dr.
move.
J?
Dominique, he did that move in the 80s. That was from that video was from the 80s.
Okay. Well, you know, they did it. They also did it doing the 50s, 60s, and that.
And it was called for travels.
I don't think so, bro.
Hey, Dave, if it wasn't called for travel, we would have seen it. We would have seen it more times than that.
Okay.
They called that move travel.
J on the drive, takes it down. Dr. J on the drive, takes it down.
That's not the same move. That's one less step.
Dr. J on the drive, takes it down. Dr. J on the drive, takes it down.
But that second step, he's already in the air. 1, 2. Second step's up in the air. So he took that first step initially on the ground still right there. In that second step,
that was 3 steps.
He's already airborne.
One-on-one break.
That's Elgin Bailey with the Euro. 1, 2. But that ain't Elgin Bailey. That's somebody else. Go Elgin Bailey. 2 steps. 1.
The mind of one man, Elgin Bailey.
That's not the same move. Put that.
That's the same move, bro.
Put that move. The same move? Put that back on. Put Dominique's back on.
Okay, man. Let's go.
Out of the backcourt now comes Dennis Johnson. DJ and Danny Ainge the backcourt with McHale, Bird, and Parrish. Bird has it swiped by Dominique. Dominique against McHale. Dominique on the drive in the lane. The layup is good, and they're going to call a walking violation and take the basket away from Dominique.
Yeah, that's the same move.
I wish we had that on the replay.
That's the same move.
Didn't look like a walk to me.
You know what happened? I looked like his leg.
Hey, that's the same move. The only difference is Dominique had the ball up over his head like this, and it looked different. That's the same move.
Are you serious, man?
Yeah, that's the same move.
You must not have been good at basketball because you hating on everybody, man.
How I'm hating? I'm saying it's the same move. I'm agreeing. What do you mean? How am I hating? I'm agreeing. It's the same move.
I'm flabbergasted, man. I can't believe we're doing this right now. Man, that's the Euro step is 2 steps. Today's players don't do it correctly. They take advantage of it. They misrepresent the move.
Dave, I'm not saying that the today's players haven't taken that move a step further.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I would like to see. So I would 2 steps. I don't even like that rule. You shouldn't be taking 2 steps. That's just me.
What, they need to take 1 step?
Yeah.
I'm done, man.
I don't want them to.
So that's your solution. So nutshell before Max got a roll. You got to hop on another podcast. So you saying the Euro, get rid of the Euro, not just the. I mean, what's your conclusion? I want to hear your wrap up of what would improve the NBA defense and just the NBA. Scoring is too easy.
This is my personal opinion. I would like to. I don't like that 2-step rule, but I can live with that 2-step. What I can't live with,
I can understand. I'm not getting this. 2 steps is legal and it's always have been.
I'm being clear what I'm saying.
Okay.
I would like that to be called travels, but okay, it isn't. But it would just be a whole lot better if they eliminate the James Harden 16 step Euro.
Yeah,
that's utterly ridiculous.
It takes like a baby step in between. But you're saying the Euro.
It ain't just James Harden. All of them doing it.
But I'm trying to get a concrete answer from you. You saying the Euro step is the reason why the scoring is inflated right now?
No, I never said that.
Oh, I'm trying to get that, answer from you, but real
I
quick,
never said that. The
well, I'm
scoring
asking
is
you what can improve the defense in the league to combat the scoring.
Man, I guess allowing them to hand check, bring hand checking back, and get rid of the zone.
The zone?
Yeah, get rid of the zone. Get rid
Put
of
a
the
big
zone.
man back underneath the board and let him do his job.
Yeah.
Bring on the zone. Bring on the zone, right?
No. I mean,
You want man full court, half court press. You want them playing like they played in college.
Yeah, get rid of the zone.
Right, play man. Okay, because you're right. That's a good point. But zone defense in college sometimes stops a lot of teams, like the Syracuse team. But it's your point. Go ahead, keep on.
Yeah, I guard your man full court, and some of the ticky tack fouls. Get rid of the flopping. You know what I'm saying? Because that man, I'm willing to bet that there are at least 15 points a game being added to the game off of fake bullshit ass foul calls and all that type of shit.
That's a fact, man. That is a fact.
That would help with the defense. So again, it still come down to the whistle. You know what I'm saying? The referees will have to change the way they blow that fucking whistle.
Yeah. All right, Max. Let me get a take from you, man. Conclusion from you on how can the defense improve scoring. I mean, do they have to get rid of all the European players and that's a quick fix right there, or what? Man? I'm just being facetious.
I'm gonna, here's the thing, and this makes the most sense to me because it's logical. And it was said during the interview, and Gilbert was there to hear it along with everybody else. Play defense. Just play defense. There's no better answer that I could possibly give. Now, if we don't know how to play defense, that's a different story. But ultimately, I think what it comes down to is A, we have a problem. B, in order to solve said problem, we have to identify it first. And right now, we're just throwing darts at things and, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with speculating on the different problems. But I think that the NBA has an agenda. Their agenda is to get those seats filled. And they realize that by having high-scoring games, that helps with keeping those seats filled, selling those hot dogs, those $8 drinks, etc. So they understand that. And they've made it into a very marketable product. What the NBA, I feel, is doing now and trying to go in the same direction as what the NFL is doing, now they want to boost their viewership. And now I think they're going to try different things and listen to what's been said because it's out there. Obviously, everybody's been hearing it and seeing it. They're probably going to try something different. I don't know what that different approach is going to be, but kind of like Dee said, maybe bringing back that hand check and let that big man sit up under that rim and wait for you to come in and blast you. Just give it to you. Let him play hard. I don't mind seeing a little bit of blood. Hey, Bill Laimbeer was one of my favorite players. I love watching Pistons and Celtics. I love those games. I love Pistons and Bulls. I love Bulls and Celtics. The 80s basketball minus all the cocaine was great. And I'd love to see that era again.
Man.
Minus the cocaine.
Man. Oh, man. Look, I think for one, y'all guys, I don't know. I think it was just you, but it might have been you too, Max, saying one-on-one defense. It's impossible for these guys to play one-on-one defense. These players are too skilled. And one of the reasons being is because they allow them to carry and they allow them to travel. You cannot guard an NBA player giving them those kind of advantages in the game. It's impossible. You can forget about it. It won't happen. But I think what they should do is start enforcing the rules. We have a good set of rules. You just got to enforce them. And You got to get rid of
Be consistent about it.
Be consistent, and you got to get rid of the the 3-second defensive 3-second rule, so those guys in the paint can be there. I mean, me personally, I'm not asking for rogue defense, but guys to be like the Detroit Pistons or whatever, and draw blood and all of that stuff, because some guys just ain't fighters, man. They'll check out. So I want but I want to see basketball skill. You know what I'm saying? I want you to try to play defense and not just knock the hell out of somebody. That part I don't like. But you can play zone defense. I'm cool with that if you want to. That's how you want to play. But I guess back in the day it was illegal to play zone. So you're right, Angelo. They might have to get rid of that. But you can't allow a defensive 3 seconds, and you can start calling these travels, man, and these carryings, all these moves these guys are able to do. Hold the ball and hang it in the air. You can't guard somebody if they can pull the ball in the air like that. There's no way. And get rid of the baby call. The baby foul calls or whatever. The referees have gotten too involved in the game. They are the superstars, really. I mean, who wants to show up and watch a referee?
Facts.
And that's what I feel like we're reduced to right now. So that's what I got, man. That's what I got on that topic, man. I thought some of the guys weren't able to make it, man, but no need to beat the dead horse, man. We pretty much already said what we wanted to say. But back in the 80s, man, there was some real defense going on. Jordan scoring while guys are holding on. Let me see if I can get
ganging up on him like he stole something from him. But they weren't playing around. They were serious. They wanted to play, and they played the whole game.
Look at that, Angelo. Guys,
yeah.
I don't want to see that shit.
Yeah, but that's what it was, man. I loved watching that.
Yeah.
Because Jordan got through it. He didn't cry. He didn't complain. Now, he'd get mad, but that anger, he'd go after the next person. That's basketball.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's another one, but let's wrap this one up, man. Hey, fellas, man, it's been my pleasure. It's time for me to get back to work, and we'll get this going on again next week, man, and we'll make sure that we got a couple more topics or whatever, and we'll have a more availability. But it's a tight week for everybody.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm signing off, man. If anybody like the show, want to communicate with us, reach out to us, man. The email is rawsportsradio@gmail.com. Max, tell them where you can be reached.
I can be reached on Facebook under Max Strubin. You can find me on YouTube at That's the Facts, Russian Jew Max. Or you can just find me wherever I may be. I'm everywhere.
All right.
I'm everywhere.
All right. So, Angelo, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me everywhere, whatever the fuck I want. Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, email, whatever the fuck I want at gmail.com.
You're not lying either. He ain't lying. Definitely.
I love it.
All right, so we signing off, fellas.
Hey. Guys, thank you again. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself. I enjoyed interacting with you guys. It was awesome. Thank you for having me on. Hope we get a chance to do it again, and let's keep putting out good stuff out there.
Yeah, for sure. Dialogue and conversations, man. All right, now. Next week.
Later, fellas.
Keep it raw.
Raw.